What is up, everybody? Welcome to Nation's Corner. It is Saturday night, and you know what that means. Nation's Corner is live with another fun edition of our show. I have tonight John from South Jersey and Mongrovian Mike joining me. What's up, guys?
Hello.
What's up?
What's up? It's been an interesting week. I know we say this every week. It's been an interesting week.
I don't know what we're going to talk
about. We just finished up a few hours ago with WWE King and Queen of the Ring. Mm-hmm. So we have our winners crowned.
Yes.
They have there's only one true king.
So I'm sorry to anyone who didn't get a chance to watch King, Queen of the Ring, because we're going to spoil it for you. Sorry, you missed your chance.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. So we have our winners of the King and Queen. Our new queen is Nia Jax, and our
Irresistible Force
is King General Gunther. So
King General.
King General.
Yeah. So your initial impressions on that.
Can we just stop for 1 second and say, I'm eating crow too on it. I was so pissed off when Walter changed his name, but the transformation into Gunther, and it just sounds better if we would have been saying King Walter. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
And the ring General, we needed that, and Nia is who we needed as the queen. You need a heel with these kings and the briefcase holders, and it's always got to be that. It's just so much better. I know sometimes it isn't, but that's what.
Yeah, and even we saw just, both of them, their first couple moments after they won, addressing the crowd. Both of them, I was like, oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah,
this is going to be
great. Absolutely.
With Nia, we already kind of have a built-in feud going on with Jade. So I'm excited to see where that goes. And Gunther, I think he's just going to be very just domineering. And as much as I would have loved to see Randy win, I know a bunch of us, Chris, we're rooting for Randy. I just think
language from that young lady about Gunther.
Hey, it is Chris.
There's Chris in the chat.
There she is.
As much as I would have loved to see Randy win, I think Gunther is just going to bring a whole different vibe to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely would wanted to see Randy Orton because, and they did it in they made a reference to it during the beginning of the preview of the match. That while Randy Orton is 100% on top of his game at this point, and they even referenced it, like AJ Styles was on SmackDown last night pleading his case to Nick Aldis. We're kind of looking at the same thing. Let's are either one of them showing signs of slowing down? Absolutely not. But it's Father Time is undefeated, and these are two men that after 20 plus years apiece in wrestling, they have more behind than left in front of them. I would love to see Randy get another title run, and I thought him winning King of the Ring would lead to that. But I am not mad at Gunther, not at all. This guy. Absolutely. Just for his work coming off of the IC title alone, this guy needs to be in a main event story and needs to be centered around a title. He has absolutely done the work and gotten, more importantly, the fans invested in him having this run. And we're going to see that now at SummerSlam, because you'll have Gunther versus Damian Priest. Because remember, the kings and queens are brand specific. So, and like you said, Deb, Nia and Jade is absolutely, yes, please, here, take my money, take somebody else's money. I will hit somebody else's wallet to give you money. However, here's now Nia going to be facing Bayley. And that's a whole interesting thing, because Bailey, I mean, any woman other than say Jade or even Bianca Belair, any other woman or Rhea steps into the ring with Nia. We saw it today. I absolutely love Lyra Valkyria, and
Yeah.
she was snug, she was physical, she brought all the fight she could to Nia, but you can't overcome physics, and that was a big woman that came crashing down on that woman.
Yep.
I think we need to check to make sure all 206 bones of Lyra Valkyria are still intact, because I think some of them.
Can we just give a nod, tip our cap to Queen Nia for bow down on bended knee to Queen Nia right now for paying tribute to Yokozuna with her finishing move and even the way she crosses. You know what I mean? That's exactly what Yokozuna did, and I love that they pay tribute, like you have Solo pays tribute with the tongue, boom,
right.
It's just you gotta love that stuff. But that was just a side fact.
And Samoan roots run deep.
They do, but she's. I know a lot of people ragged on her, ragged on Nia, and I probably was one of those people. Just not online.
Probably.
It's not, but it's not our place to say the stuff that people say online. You know what I mean?
True.
Like, if we have certain opinions of wrestlers, we usually keep it to ourselves most of the time, unless you're really
IWC going IWC.
But to criticize someone that walks up those 3 steel steps and gets between those fucking ropes. And then to criticize anything that they do or say and call it the botch or or
when we know that none of us can do anything close to
yes, I mean, we all have but it turns out that's a totally false accusation anyway, and it was just the character didn't click with a lot of people, but this one is definitely, and she deserved well deserved. You saw the tears in her eyes being validated by getting a hug from Triple H or Paul Levesque. That's even different.
Paul Levesque. It's Paul Levesque.
Paul Levesque. Sorry, whatever.
You listen to 17,000 people chant his name at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, and you come out with that pronunciation.
These trips, whatever. And those same assholes can't say the fucking Road Dogg chant forever.
Oh, you didn't know.
Nia Jax this time around since she's come back. I see a lot of improvement in her, and I think you're totally right. Just the character before just really wasn't clicking with most people.
No.
And we see a fire and a passion behind what she says now, and I think that's a big difference. I think prior, a lot of her promos just felt very flat.
I think across the board, a lot of people that might have been lackluster under a different era are made to shine better, and they're really like I always had a problem with the way Bianca didn't sell that well, or didn't sell long enough, or the same problem that I have. Listen, hey, we rag on AEW a lot of times about like the selling and why is Orange Cassidy popping up from a pile driver into a steel gird. It's just but it's the same thing, but I think she's been selling that knee and the look on her face, like they're everybody across the board has been selling well, and
one thing
top notch. It's like they all have a fire.
One thing that I've noticed is, what is said a lot about Paul Heyman and ECW is hide the flaws, accentuate the strengths. And I think that what we're seeing in WWE in the past, I'd say year to a year and a half, is very, very much that. They're very much doing a great job at hiding people's flaws, the stuff that people may not be great at, the stuff that, is the weak point in their game. They're doing a good job of hiding that, so it's not nearly as noticeable.
Deb, we all can relate. We all can relate to it on a different level, but it's the same thing no matter where you go, where you worked before to now. it was you had a different, and you're doing the same job, right? But you have a different, no stress, nobody breathing down your back,
Exactly,
stressing you out. Same thing with me, where I worked. I had an asshole face MFer for a supervisor, and he brought everybody down because not one person in the place liked the guy. And we had a new supervisor, and then it was a breath of fresh air. It was weights off your shoulder. You still had to do your job. You still have responsibilities, but it's the same thing. So I believe that's why we're seeing a lot better product from the in-ring and the promos and all of that stuff, because they're giving a freedom that they haven't had for years and years and decades.
Yeah.
True. Very true.
Yeah, absolutely. What about other things that we saw in King and Queen? Obviously, at the end we saw Cody retain.
Sure.
I don't think anybody had a doubt in their mind that was going to happen.
No.
So what are you guys' thoughts on, where does Cody go from here? What's his next step?
I don't know, honestly, because it all seems kind of rushed to me anyway, that Logan Paul. Now my wrestler brain tells me, okay, this wasn't about Cody Rhodes defending his title against Logan Paul. This was yet, much like his WrestleMania match with Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, this was yet another person to put up with Logan Paul to further legitimize Logan Paul as a wrestler. That's not, yes, he is an insufferable douchebag YouTuber. And it feeds into, as we've discussed on Zoom many times, you can't not help but hate him, because this guy he's a YouTuber. Regardless, he has no business being as good as he is for literally, about a cup and a half of coffee that he's been, quote unquote, a wrestler. So these things that, having him against Cody, no, there was no way that you're not going to have, I don't care how much the prince or whoever pays for it in Saudi Arabia, you're not having Cody Rhodes dropping the title to Logan Paul. It's just not going to happen. But however, rest in peace, Mink. It was a very entertaining match and a lot of very good psychology and physicality and everything else. And again, they play to the strengths, hide the negatives. Logan Paul is a young guy who's in good shape. He's a bit of a daredevil, high flyer type. That's kind of his MO, and they played into that and played into it very well. And like I said, he's also an insufferable douchebag. So of course he was going to bring in. Of course he was going to find a way to get more brass knuckles in. Of course he's going to do the big super high spot with a bottle of Prime in his hand or whatever. Of course so. So it's but that's little things like that. Just Cody retains, fine. Does Logan Paul lose any steam in a loss? No, I don't think so.
He's a hot dog. He's a showstopper.
But but also, just switching over, actually, not to do with if we're talking about other matches. Can we talk about?
Hey, wait! 1 second. Just thinking about that match. Did you guys think that Corey and him were gonna get? Did you think Corey was gonna take a bump for Michael Cole or what?
Might have.
That might have been a little breadcrumb there, huh?
That might. You never know.
I know I've seen on the socials Corey running the ropes, but that could just be, hey, he works out. It doesn't mean he's going to wrestle. Yeah.
True.
You never know. I mean, he might get pulled in, a la like the King has in the past, to save JR. People have done it in the past.
Sure. Not that it doesn't happen. But can we talk about the women's championship match?
Yes.
Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan again.
Yes.
And new. Congrats to one of my Jersey girls, Liv Morgan, your new WWE Women's World Champion. pinned Becky Lynch under highly questionable.
Yeah, thanks to that ex-con.
I have a comment to that, but I'll save it for a second because I'll get to that in a second. But you're right, the ex-con. What the hell was Dom doing?
I don't know.
And here,
fishy.
and here, it was on social media, this and that. Tama Tonga was not able to travel, or Tonga Loa was not able to travel to Saudi Arabia because he has a prison record. How does Dom, who has a prison record, get to go to Saudi Arabia and screw up the women's title match, but one half of the part of the bloodline now has to stay home? That's some sneaky shit there. That's sketchy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. I don't know. That seems a little double standardish.
Wow.
A little double standardish.
Aren't there a lot of double standards in that part of the world?
Don't
worry about it.
You know, you can beat your wife in public, but God forbid you show an arm or a leg.
It was good though, because it whatever there is, people want things to move as fast as they do in America. But you know what? America is the greatest experiment ever. That's why, that's the way it goes, But, there, it takes time, Look, how who would have thought we were going to see Sammy, Sammy?
Yeah,
Sammy. Who would have thought we would have saw Sammy and KO there? Because those are two that we know very publicly were never part of any of the other ones until maybe the last one. And the first, remember the first one didn't have any women. And then the second one, we had Renee Paquette. And that was it. That was it.
And I just want to point out the women's gears. We've seen the evolution of what the women are wearing at these shows. Mm-hmm. And I know Denise touched on it this morning on Busted Open. She said, the first show or two when they were just wearing like regular t-shirts, it was kind of like, it's kind of like blah, like, you don't feel your best then when you're just wearing a regular t-shirt.
Right.
And now to see the evolution that it's like normal gear, it's just full leotards. And the way that they're kind of utilizing that style of gear to kind of, I don't know how to say, like kick it up a notch. Like it's regular gear just with sleeves and full pants. And I noticed on Jade and Bianca, Jade's famous for the shattered glass design on all of her gear. And they had on Jade and Bianca the shattered glass that like looked like abs.
Well, yeah.
So, listen, the way that they're using that.
Just like people can't complain. They can't complain. Just like people were yelling bad stuff to Sky Blue about how she dressed and how quite frankly pretty much almost every other woman wrestler out there dresses like that. What are they supposed to do? Wear a fucking gunny sack? But that's beside the point.
Bitch about women no matter what women do.
Exactly. Listen,
absolutely.
Hey, you know what? Hey, look at how they've come out. Not here in the States, dressed from head to toe, still looking awesome. Still looking awesome, but not showing skin. Okay, so you got to deal with it. You can't go. We can't go back in time and push all today's values and go back to 1950 and try and push all today's values in 1950. So why would you expect to go someplace else where it's culturally different? You just abide by it. You could obviously see from pay-per-view to pay-per-view that they're progressing. There's a lot of negotiations. You could have whatever kind of political opinions and stuff. We know this stuff, but that's beyond the WWE. That's not.
Yeah.
WWE is trying to put entertainment and freedom to people and fun.
And I think
show
just
people
that
fun.
is helping to change the culture by bringing these massive, sports entertainment shows. We remember in the first few shows when it was just, mostly just men in the crowd with, the turbans and the full length, whatever they call it, the garb. And we're seeing now how it's evolved. There's a lot of kids in the crowd. There's women in the crowd. So yeah, I think, it may be slow progress, but it's still progress. And
is there bad stuff going on? Yes, there
right.
Could be. There is, but
just something I think of is,
somewhere.
The way that our government works is not our fault or anything to do with us. Same with them. Like the general public and the normal people that live there, they can't help that they have a crappy government. They can't help that, their prince is, I don't want to get into that, but
right.
but yeah, they can't help it. They're just regular people, and they deserve to have entertainment.
Out of all the things and all the things that you could say, but can all these quote unquote world leaders, including our own, here's the wrestling company comes in and is affecting real change in that part of the world.
Exactly.
So
they watch it. They chanting every freaking.
They're
singing every freaking song.
Yep.
Not just France, everywhere around the world. And this is.
They knew the words to Cody Rhodes' theme, and people don't even know the words to Cody Rhodes' theme.
Yes.
Exactly.
I don't listen, America. I know you're listening. I know you're watching. America, we got to step the fuck up. We're getting lambasted by the overseas crowds here, folks.
Yeah,
that's
we invented this stuff,
we're getting very fickle here. Fickle,
complacent, and fickle.
So appreciative.
And that's not just a WWE thing. That's wrestling crowds in America in general, whether it's WWE or AEW. Dude, they're going to these overseas shows and overseas events and stuff, and these people are absolutely blowing us out of the water. We got to step up here.
They're going bonkers.
They are.
They go banana.
And again, here's the crowd. Saudi, they go banana. And here again, there's another overseas. And everybody's like, "Oh, why does WWE have to do? Why can't they?" Well, you watch a crowd sit on their hands in Chicago, Illinois, compared to 17,000 in France. Absolutely losing their minds to the point you see cameras shaking from start to finish. And stuff like that. And that shows the power of it. But it also, I said, it's a reminder we're slacking off. We have to be better. So
we do have to be better. So anybody go to shows.
Hot.
Yeah, the crowds need to be hot, or else they come to your local market. If the crowd's not hot, they might not come to your city anymore.
And another thing I'd like to say about the Saudi shows, they're incorporating storylines into everything.
Yes,
everything means something now. The way Otis and Chad Gable. Now that's an ongoing ongoing story, and you're gonna have.
And that's
other stories are ongoing too. Obviously the Jade and Bianca and all of that stuff. So
and that speaks directly to the change in regime. We are in the Paul Levesque era. Because let's not forget. No, Saudi Arabia, whether it was Jeddah or anywhere else like that, all that was always just a glorified house show.
Yeah, don't forget. A glorified private birthday party. That's what it was. It was like
he wrote a big fat check.
Lest we forget that on the first one they wanted Andre the Giant, and they had to be informed that he was dead for like 20 years.
But that's exactly what it was. It was the prince or whatever the guy is over there getting out his checkbook and writing one with a lot of zeros to the left of the decimal point, and basically saying, "Here, we want a show. Okay, we want these."
They just wanted to see the legends that they knew
and grew up on, right? But now you fast forward 5 years or so later. Now I believe this is the fifth one they're done, and you're seeing that now. This is a legit PLE. This is something where you're going to see storylines coming into it and also coming out of it. It's another PLE. And the same, like you're going to see the same. Obviously WWE is going to be going back to France for something. They're already going. They already advertised that
We
Drew
got them in the
McIntyre
UK in a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, they're going to be at
the
another Clash at the Castle, and they already announced a match for that. Drew McIntyre, who's cleared, taking on Damian Priest. So these overseas
Australia.
And the fact now, we have always known WWE obviously has been a global product as far as reach and availability for quite a long time. But now, now they're back and they're putting their money where their mouth is. They're like, we know you watch. We know you're watching on Peacock. We know you're watching however you watch us normally for the weekly shows. Now,
they can see the data on their social media apps of who's seeing their clips where.
The guy that got elected mayor or whatever of London made it part of his campaign. If you elect me the mayor, I will get WWE to London for WrestleMania. And of course, Triple H responded, "Hey, let's talk." So you can't deny the.
So is the Nation's Corner crew going to try and go across the pond now?
I don't want to be on the plane that long.
Well, why don't we hop on Front Row's cruise ship and just get dropped off there?
What? Yeah, what? What are they going to do? Put us on a little rowboat tied to the back or something?
Hop in my dinghy.
Yeah, exactly. But
they don't make a dinghy big enough for me.
Well, I guess the one other thing we should probably just get some thoughts on real quick. We have to discuss the 800-pound gorilla in the room. Was Randy's shoulders down? It was not a real 3 count?
It was not.
It was not.
And you know what? It's going to
be the same the picture again.
What they want us to remember, they'll let us remember. If it's going to be something, well, you know what? We don't know. Could this be something that turns Randy, heel again? Hey, you know what?
Yeah. Well,
I'm tired of this glad hand and shit, this kissing babies and hugging everybody and signing these stupid kid signs. They leave that shit to Cody. I'm tired of shit. My shoulder was up. I won the King of the Ring, and
and absolutely you could go with that, but they're kind of doubling down on it, Mike. I don't know if you saw it or you saw it either, Deb, but there is a clip floating around out there.
Yeah, and Corey also said something. I'd like to see.
Well, this is Triple H. This is Triple H.
Another angle. So
Triple H is saying,
yeah.
Triple H
if Corey
is saying,
said it, if Corey said it, that to me tells it's a breadcrumb.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
And they were clearly up. I mean, they showed
they were
up. You didn't have to see another shot.
Triple H told Byron Saxton, number one, referees' decisions are final, but he would like to see it. Upon further review, there's certainly an argument for them to run it back.
Because you know what? Randy doesn't have to win King of the Ring or nothing. He's got a built-in story with Cody anyway.
Right.
Well,
so there's that to go back on. Hey, I should be challenging you. You know what? I made you years ago. I got you over, or whatever. Whatever story he wants to tell.
Mm-hmm.
It's there for the telling.
And
I
again,
honestly think the first person that Orton turns against is going to be. I'm looking at Kevin Owens right now in the RKO shirt, which is really cool. It's the R, and then it's the Kevin Owens KO. It's really cool.
I could see. We could probably sit here for another 2 hours trying to figure out which way exactly they're going to go. But again,
do you know how crazy that would drive Front Row if we sat here for 2 hours talking?
That's what he gets for leaving us unsupervised. That's what he gets. And I just have one.
We'll all be in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's right. But I just have to do this real quick, only because I have to. But I just want to put this comment up real quick. Oh, where is it? There it is. That one. Only if you're paying. Only if you're paying for it, kiddo. I ain't going to go overseas. You could pay for it.
Yeah, you know what? When the wallet, John, there's an old saying: when the wallet is open, the prodigal daughter returns.
Damn right. Ain't that the truth? You still owe me.
I haven't met you. I look forward to meeting you, but if the rest of
it ain't all that great.
Listen, if you drive your dad as crazy as you do, I love you, kid.
She is the
Yes, because we like anything that drives John crazy.
She is the only woman on this earth that will ever fully own my heart, and honestly, the only female ever on this planet that I actually listen to.
Yeah, how do you like that, Deb? He don't listen to you.
I humor her. I humor Deb.
He's ready to throw AK-9K around like a hammer, but for you. But you know, he won't. He's not listening.
My dear daughter Brooke knows that she is my princess, and
hey,
always will
you
be.
know, while we're saying serious stuff, you know, let's just get serious for a minute and remember what this holiday weekend is about. It's Memorial Day. I wanna give a shout out to my buddy Billy Doyle, and I'm glad he's here to celebrate Memorial Day, because Memorial Day is for the fallen, the people that ultimately sacrificed everything, meaning their lives. It's a you know, that's what it's all about. You tip a beer back, you tip a drink back, you give some flowers, and you just remember those who gave all. You know, you may not have personally. I mean, I know I have an Uncle Louis Dalsmore. Lost him in the Second World War. He died invading Italy, and you know, here's to an uncle that I never met but I love dearly, and he sacrificed, and my grandma and her family sacrificed a lot for that, and a lot of families do.
Cheers.
Always thank a veteran. Anytime you see him, don't never save it for a special occasion. And it's kind of a song from a very cheesy guy, but Billy Ray Cyrus has a song called "All Gave Some Gave All," and to me that sums it up. That's exactly what it was. These are men and women that, you know, I'm not going to make this political, but this is men and women that, you know, basically signed a blank check to the United States government, and that was with their lives, and it was payable with their lives, and those have. So, you know, yes, it's a time to get together, relax for an extra day off. Hey, get together, have some good times and stuff, but take a minute just to remember why it's there, why we're here, why we're able to do this show every Saturday night. You know, why we're able to go to wrestling events, why we can do what we want with our friends, our family, our loved ones. It's because there are men and women out there.
And listen, here's the bottom line. Everything going on in this damn country right now today, whether it's good, bad, whether you like what's going on or not, whether you approve or disapprove, any other place in the freaking world, you'd be in a fucking gulag. You'd be dead if it wasn't for these people. That's the bottom friggin' line. So, you know, whether you take a knee or stand for anything, it's because of these people. So thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Well said.
Thank you.
Very well said. Okay, back to the silly wrestling.
Back off the soapbox.
Shall we move on to Double or Nothing?
You're a hot dog.
Yeah, Viva Las Vegas. Viva. Shout out to Nation's Corner member, our good brother Marks in New Mexico, who is currently en route to beautiful Sin City and will be in attendance tomorrow night for Double or Nothing.
Oh man,
that's our boy Mark. And
gotta love Marks, man.
Remember Marks, hashtag Nation's Corner on location.
Marks is finishing his story. He never finishes it on Zoom at night, but he's gonna finish his story tomorrow.
Famously never finishes.
Yes.
But anyway,
hey guys, something interesting happened today. And
you'll never guess what I just shot out in the desert.
Hey, I saw something on my way home from work. This is on a Sunday night.
Marks. We love you, Marks.
And we get to Thursday. Hey, Marks, what'd you see? I don't remember. It just, you know, but it's Marks. That's what he does. So
I'm seriously popped now, man.
And thank you, Stephen. Yes, he will find Bigfoot. He could find a flipped over trail. He could find a flipped over trailer full of chicken tenders in the reservation.
Yeah, what?
But can't find Bigfoot.
He's taking time from hunting skinwalkers in New Mexico to go into Vegas. That's what he's doing.
Yep.
Anyway. It's all right, man.
let's talk about it.
Anyway,
this
let's
is a
get into the card.
big card.
Big card.
Right.
Long card.
Long. Listen, folks.
Huge.
Don't start.
Huge.
Don't start drinking too early tomorrow. It's
Very
going to be
good.
another long night.
Very big. Very huge.
Long night.
Good. Very good.
Yeah, I mean, it is a good thing
it.
because we're looking. I just looked at the card a little earlier, and they've even added one now in on the buy-in, so that's even another hour earlier we have to watch.
Okay,
but we're gonna, it pace yourselves, kids. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Pace yourselves. I'm talking to you, Neil, and Andre. Pace yourselves.
Listen, I am a huge fan of you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
I just had a thought from what we saying when I was saying huge. There's this clip of Trump dancing. I want to put it to the swerve. Dance.
Oh no! You cannot do that.
No.
Yeah, I can.
No.
Because he looks just like every other guy I see dancing in the stands. Trying to look as cool as Prince Nana.
And no one looks as cool as Nana.
And that was nothing political. I don't care what letter he puts before his name. That dance is funny as fuck. And if you got that, you laugh at it.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Sarah, let's not paint him with that.
Running down. So we got on the buy-in Thunder and Deanna.
Deanna running that back. Good to see that.
Yes. I'm thrilled to see that. Who do y'all got on that one?
Oh,
are they 1-1 or is it 1-0?
Shit, I can't even remember. I'm terrible at remembering.
I can't either. If it's 1-1, I don't know. If it's 1-0, I think it's 1-0 Deanna, or maybe. But if so, this is a very good story going on between these two right now. That they need to find a way to keep it.
Neither one has tapped. If they had a match, it was a quick roll up and or something like that. It was a 3.5 count and
I mean, we the fans are going to win just because it's going to be a fantastic match. But they need to keep this going because both of them, and it's one of those things. I do like Thunder Rosa, the wrestler and the character, but I never bet against my OG Jersey Girl. So I'm a little torn. I might have to just do the Tommy Dreamer. The fans win.
The fans go team. You got to get the go team.
Right. I hope they both have fun.
Yay team.
I'm going for Thunder on this one.
Okay.
So I don't know what order they'll be in. We know there's the triple main event is what they're calling it. But I mean, we all know there's one main event. So we got Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta, former best friends. I think, God, I don't know. I think Trent has to, I don't know. I'm still undecided even as I'm talking.
I think Trent has to win just to further legitimize that the best friends are over with. And the whole thing is, I
think that's where I was thinking. Yes.
But you can't deny Orange Cassidy is one of the biggest stars fan-wise in AEW. He is ridiculously
Isn't Don
over.
Callis involved? Isn't Don Callis trying to get?
Who knows?
For lack of a better words, isn't he making Google eyes at these guys at Orange?
Dude, he's Kanuki and he doesn't wear socks. Fuck that Carney clown.
Yeah, but I think Don Callis is playing Orange Cassidy because the Orange Cassidy's not going to turn. I mean, or Trent already turned. He's already a bad guy. He's hitting refs. Right. He's hitting his friends. I think he's going to turn and join the Callis team. But the other thing is, I don't see Ospreay staying long with Don Callis.
maybe, but I think it's more, to me, it's more about getting Trent on his own, because we haven't really seen him outside of either tagging with Orange, or I mean, he's had some single matches and stuff there, but this is the first time in AEW that he's there on his own.
He was always in a tag team, but
right, he was with Chucky or Chassie, or the best friends. They all come out together and all that stuff. And now he's on his own.
He always had great singles matches, and we said, and we've heard it on Busted Open. Hey, we'd love to see Trent really have a singles run,
Yeah,
and we're gonna see it, and I think he deserves it. He's a good, he's a good hand there, and
and
doing some high flying. He's in his prime right now, so
let
him shine.
I'm good to see him getting this spot, regardless of how they're getting there. But
yeah. All right. So next up, I'm gonna give John a coronary with this one.
The
FTW Championship, Jericho, Hook, and Shibata.
Can I rant first, and then I'll shut up and you too?
Fuck
you, Chris Jericho. Go fuck yourself. For the world, you fucking half-ass Kanukian old man. Are you out of your fucking mind? For the world. And I hate Chris Jericho even more because he fucking got me again. Chris Jericho is an absolute master at what he does. And as soon as he came out with that stupid For the World, it's not the For the World title, folks. It never was. But he got me again. And I sincerely hope that Hook chokes him out after giving him about 10 fucking T-bone tags plexus and chokes him out. Okay, I'm done. You guys discuss.
Okay. I just want to say that I think the pompous smile and wave is like the greatest thing. The greatest. Jericho somehow continues to figure out new ways that he can annoy people.
Fucking hate him.
And he's just so good at it.
Yes.
He's just so good at annoying people. And it makes me laugh.
Yeah. It's one of these things. How many times have we seen him do it in AEW already? Jericho Appreciation Society, Inner Circle, now the Learning Tree, and now he's given that shine to Cass, Big Bill, being with them. Again, bring it. He just has that knack and that ability, and man, he is so dialed in on basically playing that audience and that crowd any way he wants, and it's absolutely. As much as I hate it, it's impressive to see.
Yeah,
I still hope he gets the shit kicked out of him.
I'm hoping that Hook wins it back with this one. Can we just mention for a second Shibata? Bully has mentioned it on Busted Open a couple of times, and Shibata being entertaining and hilarious through Siri Translate is just the best. I guess I missed Rampage last night because I was still at work, but I guess on Rampage last night he said after he wins the title he's going to go see Carrot Top because he's funny.
Yes.
Who said that?
Fuck you, Jericho. Fuck you, Jericho. Fuck you, Jericho.
Oh, you got me.
Anywho, yes.
Did I tee that one up just right?
Just right. Just right. For once, you got it right.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
But you're absolutely right, Deb. No one had Yasuhiro Shibata on their bingo card to be funny and entertaining. Ever.
Yeah.
Ever. He's clearly never has and never been that kind of guy. But here we are.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely working. And again, it's one of these things we don't expect, but I hope they keep it going because it's actually, something that AEW, if it was in any other time, he would just be standing there and, maybe some subtitles or something. But now they've actually taken the fact, the man doesn't really speak much English or not enough to be effective communicating for American TV. So why not, why not use some technology?
I talk better than Orange Cassidy sells.
Right.
Oh, this is fun.
Mm.
All right, moving on from one amazing Japanese guy to another. We have Mox versus Takeshita for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship Eliminator match.
Yes.
Oh God, that's gonna be a battle.
That's going to be they're going to be some leaky ones on that one. I think they're both going to be leaking by the time it's over. And I see Takeshita winning. I think
so too, especially because it's an eliminator match and it's not for the title.
I think when they said this and we're first discussing it and announcing the match, my first thought was Takeshita Mox IWGP Championship Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
I like
okay,
it.
so John Bay asked what's the eliminator match. Well, it's a tried and true formula. If you got to beat the champion to get a chance at beating the champion.
Yeah. I know. I never get why does the person holding the belt have to get in the ring?
Yeah.
Right. Because I beat you once and I'm going to beat you again because we're going to run the same match back, but this time it's going to mean something.
Yeah. It's a thing. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be a battle. There'll be blood. It'll be fun.
Right. It'll be all the typical stuff that AEW fans like. So it'll be good. It'll be very good.
All right. So then we have Roddy Strong versus Will Ospreay for the AEW International Championship. I'm honestly thinking Ospreay takes it on this one. He's been on a roll lately.
Notice my hands.
To this one. Yeah. I'm looking forward to this. Can I just say, how happy are you guys for like Roddy Strong, man? That he finally has a chance to just shine. And it started with just a loud, annoying Adam, and now it's like it's
great. Would Roddy Strong? I did not have Roddy Strong becoming entertaining on my bingo card.
Yeah, I never discounted that he would hold gold one day, but to be this entertaining on promos and it's not just him saying I'm gonna blah blah blah, the 101. It's really it's outside the box and it was really really good.
Yes.
And this match is going to be probably the match of the night, I'd say. But
it's definitely a contender, but. Regardless of how entertaining and how good Roddy is in the ring, it's the Willie Goat and new.
Yep.
Yes.
Bruv.
Yeah.
Bruv.
All right. So we're all in agreement on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Next up, we got the Bang Bang Gang versus Death Triangle. I know that, Death Triangle has been up and down. We had Pac a little bit. We didn't have him a little bit. Now he's back. I think it was on Busted Open After Dark where Bully was kind of taken aback that several callers in a row were just really excited to have Death Triangle back. I'm not sure who I want to win this one though.
I'm not either, and but I am definitely in agreement. It's good to have Death Triangle back because that is a team with history and not just in AEW. Part of the reason why they made such a big deal is of what they did outside of AEW as a team. And you're right, the three of them at various times have been bit hard by the injury bug. And just for the fact that all three of them now are seemingly healthy and back together, yes, give these guys a chance to shine on a big thing. My feelings aside of what TK has done to the Ring of Honor World Six-Man Champions, and I'm not going to do it.
I know we've had that rant already.
I'm not going to rant.
You get one rant per show.
I'm not going to rant. I'm going to breathe it out.
I know. Listen, why go behind the paywall to see something defended on every week TV?
I ain't gonna get into it. All I'm gonna say is it should be a very good match. I still can't figure out. Jay White is a legitimate star in wrestling. Legitimate, well-known name, especially from everything he accomplished in New Japan and being the leader of the Bullet Club.
And do the Ass Boys need him? Do the Ass Boys need him anymore? I mean, I
don't
think
they're
not
so.
anymore. I think it served the purpose of what it was intended for. And now I think it might be time to go their separate ways.
Let it be if they want to let it be a faction, be a faction. But I want Jay White going after bigger things.
Yes, they have enough singles titles out now. That yes, you can absolutely put Jay White.
I mean, come on. I mean, really. We know the matches he could have. We could call the people out that he could have these killer matches trying to get to the gold. So, you know, and one of the big ones you want to see somewhere down the line is Jay White Okada. I mean, come on.
Absolutely.
If you don't want that, what the hell why are you even into wrestling?
Yeah, it's you know, but anyway, but I think it could be a very entertaining match. You know, this might be the jumpstart for all that we're just talking about, and Death Triangle becomes new. This one I don't know. I don't want to say I don't care, but I don't see a Death Triangle win or loss or a Bang Bang Gang win or loss meaning too much in the grand scheme of things.
No.
So
true.
No,
again,
you
know what it's going. Well, you know what it's going to be. You know, let's be honest. It's going to be your clusterfuck match. That's what it's going to be.
Absolutely.
You always gotta have one. Gotta have one.
That's going to be
the Rick. Yeah. It's going to be the Rick Knox looking like Bozo in the middle of the ring. You know, and that's what it'll be. It will be that.
And AEW, opposed to others, do those very well. So again, it's going to be six.
It's going to be fun.
Go at it
it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be entertaining. Yeah, it's going to be plenty of oohs and ahs.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Toni Storm and Serena Deeb for the Women's World Championship. We had an amazing interview with Serena Deeb on Busted Open the other day.
Yeah.
And Toni Storm, like we've all talked about, Toni Storm is just kind of on a different level. She's in a different stratosphere right now. Let's be honest.
Absolutely.
Like she's on a different plane of reality.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Obviously, the woman walks around in black and white, so yeah, she's really not. She's not with or of us. So, but yes, you're absolutely right. There's nothing, bar none, my opinion. There is nothing better in AEW right now than Timeless Toni Storm.
No,
agreed.
No. You know, and the great thing about it is, besides this amazing character work we're getting from Toni can and has and does wrestle very well at a very high level. So you know, it's not just and it's kind of a challenge to AEW to make sure that they're putting, especially for title matches, they're giving her quality opponents, and they certainly have done it. They have been, and this time is no different with the Professor Serena Deeb. Serena Deeb is probably the best wrestler on the women's roster in AEW. I'll debate anybody on it, and don't, because I'll win.
You know what? You know who won't debate you? Probably most of the female roster won't debate you on that, because they'd probably agree with you on that.
Right. But so again, this is one. Again, this is another match. Who do you? This isn't going to be a guaranteed win for Toni Storm. Do I think she retains? Sure, because there's always shenanigans. But it's one of them things. Absolutely, I am sold on the fact that Serena Deeb could be walking out with the women's world title.
But that's just it. The thing is do we think Toni Storm is gonna lose the belt? No. But how many times are they going to get us on the edge of our seat, counting the 1, 2,
Surely.
1, 2,
exactly.
We're going to see, we're going to see a ton of false finishes,
and that's the beauty. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. And for all the crap that maybe some of us give, and maybe people on the internet and whatever, you know, give AEW. They really do deliver on their pay-per-views. They do put on a good show, and you know what? They have been telling stories. You know.
Yeah. I mean, just looking at these match graphics, every match has a story.
Listen, they do what they do good. They're going back. They're starting to connect dots for people and stuff. They do it all the time? No, but it's still.
Yeah.
The honeymoon for them may be over, but it's still only 5 years.
Right.
You know, they have time. They seemingly have
5 years into Vince. It was he had Doink, so you know. You know,
but you know, again, another here it is, you know, and it's a worthy title match with a worthy champion, a worthy contender. You know, it's going to be a very good match because both women perform at a very high level. So again, you know,
wait, Shibata sent the message.
Oh,
Devhausens are real and spectacular.
Hey, that's not our words.
You're so stupid.
I know I am.
Oh God!
Why do we have? Why does he have toys? Why do we let him have toys, Deb? Why?
I really am.
You're a fucking child. You're a child.
All right, I work with children.
Yes.
I work with children.
You
All right,
do.
moving on. Moving on.
We're not done yet.
Sorry.
All right, Adam Copeland and Malachi Black. We had a very, very interesting bloodbath the other night. And so they are fighting in a barbed wire steel cage. What do you think is going to happen?
I don't know. Mayhem. That's all I can say. You know, it's going to be, again, this is going to be an excellent match.
Who's in the steel cage? Who is it?
Adam Copeland and Malachi Black, the barbed wire steel cage match.
It's going to be blood.
There will be blood. They will be leaking. But again, you know, Malachi Black
is going to be safe chair shots to the head.
Maybe.
Yes, it is for the TNT Championship. Yes,
it is. But you know, we know the history of Malachi Black, going back to NXT, the theatrics, the story, the presentation. And Adam Copeland, well, he's fucking Adam Copeland. You know, he is the rated R superstar. Guy knows a thing or two about a thing or two in wrestling. So at that point, the lead up to this has been kind of what I expected from them to the point now it's probably of all the matches on the card, the one I was looking forward the most to seeing. And it's my pick for match of the night. Regardless of what the other ones are, that is my pick for match of the night. These two are going to go out and actually give a classic performance tomorrow night, regardless of the outcome.
Okay.
It's going to be,
I
be awesome.
Yeah.
It is. It's going to be intense is the word that I would use thinking about this. I'm excited to see both of their entrances. Both of them, you know, are kind of known for just incredible entrances. And I think those two entrances are really going to give that big fight feel. It's going to build the anticipation towards it. I think Malachi takes this one.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, moving on to our last three, the triple main event. Well, I don't know if they said specifically what order the triple main event will be in, like which one will be first. Let's just go with Anarchy in the Arena first. You know, we've seen a couple Anarchy in the Arena matches before. We kind of know what to expect of them. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of craziness. It's a lot of ridiculousness. The Elite versus Team AEW. I think this storyline has created a lot of buzz for AEW in the past, month or so it's been. You know, whether people want to say that the Bucks nobody cares about the Bucks or whatever. It's creating buzz. Their story is creating a lot of buzz. It's getting people talking. And I think that's extremely evident in the fact that when people talk about AEW, they're talking about storyline based things, not backstage drama, not this person doesn't get along with that person.
They're going to
people are discussing AEW, they're talking about storylines, and this is one of the major storylines that's happening.
Absolutely.
They're gonna pause. They're gonna be a real problem. They're gonna get worse and worse. They're gonna impose themselves in people's matches more and more.
Yep.
With their rules, they're gonna do, like I said, they're gonna be the proverbial Vince McMahon and who's gonna be the Stone Cold to step up to them. Right now, it's got to be Swerve.
Basically, but
I basically, you know what? The man just walked out right now, John Moxley.
Yes.
I see him as being the Stone Cold that comes in but the opposite way, like not to fight Tony, but to save Tony's ass.
Right.
One of these guys has to do it. It's got to be him.
Right.
Like I said, I think I said the two people that I think. Bryan Danielson. Yeah. He's got to come in with some. He's got to come in with some heaters behind him, man.
Well, yeah.
So, one of the kind of things that has kind of gone on the radar. Do we see MJF come back tomorrow night? And does he get involved with the Team AEW versus Young Bucks?
It's possible. Well,
always like Matt Cardona, I'm always ready.
Well, and I'm glad you pulled out that prop, Elder, actually, because if MJF comes back, do we then lose that? There is still quote unquote unfinished business with MJF, Adam Cole, and Undisputed Era.
There's a ton of receipt. There's a ton of
exactly. But I mean, I'm not discounting the fact if MJF returns tomorrow, it'll be a huge pop and everybody will be excited, this and that. But I don't know if tomorrow is the right time to bring him back or to bring him back as a part of this story.
And we don't know if he's healthy enough yet.
That also as well. We know Adam Cole can walk now.
Because one thing he's great at, MJF, is staying the fuck off of social media. He's not like the rest of these knuckleheads.
He's really good at that.
2 minutes after a match, they're thanking the person that beat the shit out of him.
Right.
No, when MJF left, he left.
He is nowhere. He's not, I'm with my cat, I'm with my girlfriend.
I think he's posted like maybe 2 things since he left.
Yep.
And it was just kind of, unrelated stuff.
Right.
Whatever he's doing is on his private media with his private friends and family. That's it.
Yeah.
Whatever he's doing. He's not engaging any of the fans.
This is my and I don't have a whole lot of basis or anything to back up. My whole thing is when you start seeing Adam Cole back on television consistently, meaning that he's doing, even if he's just doing promos or he's being on television, when that happens, that's when you're going to see MJF, because then they're going to come back to and finish the story,
right? To
steal a phrase, of MJF and Adam Cole, baby.
Yeah.
Well, he's gonna drop the crutches and say,
something like that. So
whack.
Yeah. So
then, do we think that the Elite win this Anarchy in the Arena so they can keep terrorizing everybody, and then Team AEW still has to kind of be the underdogs, and then we see more people, coming to the rescue to back up Team AEW and join them taking on the Bucks going forward?
I see I honestly, for the sake of the story, it makes it a lot easier and makes it a lot easier going forward if the Elite win, because they're just they're the two of them are finally leaning into their perception that there are just two assholes, which they are, and they're acting very much like it. you can't.
So
you can't have all this buildup and everything they've done up to here just to have them lose tomorrow night.
Billy Doyle has a point. Forbidden Door is in Long Island, so that's more feasible. That's more believable, maybe, to have an MJF return or an MJF tease. And also, Steven says, he thinks Baker is returning. She might be returning.
That could be
nothing. That could be.
There's still a few ready to kick some ass on with DDP there. I don't know, man.
There's a couple big female names still floating out there that we haven't seen. Dr. Britt Baker, one. Jamie Hayter is another.
Yes.
That is, nobody's really heard a whole lot of.
Yep.
But she supposedly has been recovering from her injuries. So, it's there's always the what if, and it's so hard to predict those that you just got to, maybe, anything is possible, but until it happens, I never want to put a guess on or this person has to come back or this. No, man, just enjoy.
I'm still waiting for a Captain Insano fucking comeback.
He shows no mercy. So
yeah. All right, let's move on. We got 2 matches left, so we'll go over them real quick. I'm gonna do Swerve and Christian Cage first. It's been an interesting build-up. We've seen Christian just, being a real dick, like telling Swerve that he's abandoning his kid.
Right.
It's been a lot.
It is a lot. But the one thing I love, and this shows how, and I have to give this credit to Christian. Christian basically based all this on the fact that Swerve came and beat up Nick Wayne, came to his house and everything like that. Oh, you like going into people's houses and stuff. But if you remember and rewind, Swerve going to beat up Nick Wayne had nothing to do with Nick Wayne being with his quote unquote father, now Christian Cage. That was a Darby Nick Wayne thing. So Christian has completely flipped the whole story around to make it now, oh, you attacked my adopted son.
My son. It was a perfect callback too, because you got all that footage of when Swerve was a piece of shit and did that to this poor kid in his dad's garage.
Yes. And it wasn't even, but that, again, much like
made him bleed on his dad's picture too, didn't he?
Yes.
And then that was the callback too. He swore he had the pitch. Oh man.
Yeah.
Right.
Connecting the dots to a totally different story.
Right. And now it's their own. It's this one now that set up this match between Christian. And so again, kudos to Christian Cage, another guy that knows a thing or two about about wrestling.
You know what, John? Just when you think, oh, this so-and-so is the best fucking heel in wrestling right now.
Yeah.
Christian Cage says, hold my fucking Molsons.
Yes.
Hold my Molsons. Hold my Molson. I'm fucking, and he lives you know what?
Tampa.
Everybody goes, ooh, I don't know if so-and-so could go there. I don't know if we could do this or that anymore. I don't know. You know what? If he can do whatever he wants. He comes out and he talks to, he does just what Bully does. I mean, to me, they're the heels. They're the best heels.
True.
He's nobody else.
Nobody
else. MJF was never a heel. He was a tweener. People cheered too much for the shit he did and said, even if it was at their own expense.
Because it was super entertaining.
Yeah,
right.
Like Christian is not sitting there getting $150 to take a picture with us shitheads. He's just not going to do it. MJF will. We're the people that are saying, hey, berate me in my video and stuff,
Right.
Tell me how great I smell, and I'm gonna be a mark for it. Whatever.
But regardless, I see Swerve retaining. I think they're.
I do too.
I think AEW is really.
You got to ask yourself, John. Does Christian need a belt?
No, I don't think he does. And
as long as he's got his mouth in a microphone.
Right. And I think this is more to legitimize
Mama Wayne by his side.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And don't forget, this is gonna eventually it's gonna turn into Luchasaurus or whatever they call Kill Switch.
Right.
He's gonna snap sooner or later.
Sure. But I just think it's AEW is invested fully behind having Swerve as their champion. And not saying that he's going to go on a 3-year title reign or anything, but I don't think they just put the belt on him. So
it's not time to change it yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Yeah. All right.
If there's any complaints about him about Swerve, is that they got to let him shine a little better. Like he just came right out like the first couple of weeks. Like there wasn't that out there in the ring, and let him absorb and get his flowers for winning and get the "you deserve it" chance or whatever the hell they're gonna yell.
Exactly.
But let him state his mission with that belt over his shoulder, around his waist.
Yeah.
And really, they really could have leaned into that more, especially being the first black champion, heavyweight champion in AEW. That really should have been.
Yeah, I think it was unfortunate because
it's all right.
In that moment, there was so much focus on what was happening with the Bucks and Jack Perry and Tony Khan, and I think unfortunately Swerve just kind of got lost in the mix of all of that.
Yeah,
but
he could have got 5 minutes.
He got it back. He got it back.
Yeah. No. So, he gets it back anytime he steps out in front of the audience. That's the thing.
Yeah,
he commands that spotlight.
Yeah.
Some people look for the spotlight. Sometimes the spotlight just finds you, and they found him. Man.
Exactly.
I'm so glad I saw him at a little bar in Queens a few years back.
Ooh. The final match, we have Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Moné for the TBS Championship. I know there's been a lot of criticism about Mercedes since she came to AEW. Front Row said last week that it kind of dawned on him that he felt like Mercedes, her promos kind of felt very two-dimensional, felt scripted, and he had said that he thought it was actually done on purpose to make her more annoying to the fans. And I think with us fans now being so smart to how things work, I think some traditional heel promos they're not as effective as they used to be. And I think, Front Row, we always talk about this new kayfabe concept, and that new kayfabe kind of turns kayfabe differently to kind of work the fans in a different way. So she's doing promos that feel very two-dimensional and scripted. So the fans are going to be like, oh, she sucks at promos. She sucks. She hasn't done anything since she got here. She's overrated. She sucks. And Front Row really thought like, oh, maybe that's the point. Maybe the point is to get the fans to be like, I don't want to see her on my TV. She sucks.
Yeah, they want us to hate her.
She's becoming the heel in a different way, and it's getting people even more behind Willow as the baby face, because people are like, "Oh, Mercedes, she's so overrated. She hasn't done anything since she left WWE. She can't even do a promo." And it's getting Willow more over as a baby face. We love Willow. We all love Willow. Everybody does. How could you not?
Yes.
And so I think Willow definitely retains on this one.
I do too.
And I think some shenanigans are going to happen with Mercedes to get her kind of hated even more, like on another level.
Right.
I think they want to build. Yeah, they definitely want to build up to a double or nothing, or maybe tomorrow maybe that match is where we get Britt Baker coming back to stop some of the shenanigans, and maybe that's what helps Willow retain. Either way, we're gonna go. We're gonna have a really good match, and we all love Willow so much. Like we're rooting for her. It's just they want to get the people turned against Sasha. That's what I mean. Mercedes, sorry.
Yeah.
It's
true.
And because if you look at Mercedes since her return, there was all this hype, all this all this buzz, all this and everything, it's really been kind of underwhelming. That
Yeah.
and is that the work? Maybe, but we don't
know. That's the
know.
beauty of kayfabe is we
Right.
don't know
We
if
don't
it's
know.
part of it or not.
And from my own standpoint, that's an 8-figure talent they signed. 8. That's to the left of the decimal point.
Yeah.
8 figures. Somebody either I look at it this way: either somebody sold them a bill of goods, or somebody says, "Look, this is what my price is, and I guarantee this is what I'm going to do." So I think coming out of regardless of how the match goes and everything tomorrow, I'm very curious to see what it is going forward. If they're going to continue to lean into this, the way she has been presenting herself and all that, continuing to garner heat from the fans and all that. Again, I know they have to, there's a winner and a loser. And even if Mercedes, you could say it's typical AEW if Mercedes goes and beats Willow and gets a championship.
Speaking of typical AEW, right now there's a banger match going on Collision between Dutch, Vincent, and the Murder Hawk against Claudio, Daniel Garcia, but here's the kicker, Tanahashi.
Yeah,
probably the greatest wrestler from
the
greatest wrestler out of New Japan. Probably one of my favorites. The Ace is there. So
they tease that. They tease that.
It's like it's so great. But as you go, why are they fighting each other? But then you go, hey, I'm seeing Tanahashi on U.S. soil.
Although they did tease it earlier today that it
Vegas.
It was Claudio and they have a friend coming to join them. So there's your friend Tanahashi. But that's cool.
So back to Mercedes.
Right.
There's some criticism that like, oh, she's been in AEW for 5 months now, and she wasn't cleared to wrestle, and she hasn't really done anything yet. But I think it's a double-edged sword, and it goes back to a lot of people being very fickle. Is okay, so you say you want a good build and a good story,
right?
But then you just want them to slap the championship on her because they're paying her so much money. Like, you can't have it both ways. Pick one.
Right.
Pick one. Give her the championship immediately, or have a good story.
Right. And
I take good story.
I take good story too.
Yeah.
And even if they were to do typical AEW and put the belt on Mercedes her first time,
build it to Wembley. Build it to Wembley.
That's the whole thing. You could do that going forward with Mercedes as a champion. You could have Willow, the ultimate babyface, back on the chase. There's ways you can go, but for right now,
don't forget there's a week apart. What is it? A week apart? Oh, they separated them by 2 weeks now. Yeah. So now that's supposed to be a relief. It's 2 weeks.
Well, now supposedly it's going to be on my birthday on the 7th, which means I'm not sure if I'm going to be watching it because that's going to be our first night on vacation at the beach.
There you go.
Oh. Bougie.
Well, bougie. It's priorities, sir. Priorities.
Yeah. All right. So as we said, Collision is on right now. So let's go ahead and wrap this whole thing up. Anything that y'all wanna say before we go?
I have a lot of things, but you're telling me we got to wrap it up. So
yes, we have to wrap it up.
Okay. Again, it's cool that we have this. We have weekends like this where we have the two major companies, big shows with great stories behind them. We know the wrestling is going to be good. We never question. Yeah. We never question that the in the ring stuff and all that is going to be good from either company. But it's one of them things. I've always had the thought that besides the change in leadership at WWE, that WWE, regardless of what they may say or think, that's what they want the public to believe. WWE had to start taking a long, hard look 5 years ago, or even 4 years ago, to say, what are we doing? How are we doing it? We are not the only game in town anymore. This isn't just some indie that's making a splash or whatever. This is somebody with serious money, with serious commitment with that money to do, to make their, and I know, is AEW ever going to quote unquote beat? We're not going to have a Monday Night War, folks. At this point,
it's past that. It's a different. I think people have to get it through their heads that it's not going to be the Monday Night Wars. It's a whole different environment and climate now. Right. WWE is 10 steps above where they were at that time. No one is catching.
There's such a huge gap. And it's not a knock against AEW. It isn't.
No,
there's such a huge gap. And to me, honestly, again, if I was Tony Khan, I'm not looking to. I remember Eric Bischoff. Better than, less than, different than.
Yeah.
You can, if you're going to be less than, why are you even trying? You're not going to be better than, no matter how deep your pockets are, Tony Khan. You're not. Sign every big name talent you can get. You're still not going to be better than WWE. So you go
especially just on a business level, just how huge WWE is as a business, as a corporation, with everything that they're doing, global entertainment.
Yes,
it's just different.
It's absolutely something to aspire to. To make your company as big, as prevalent.
Yep.
But
and look how long it took WWE to get to this place.
Right. And last I checked, there's about a 65-year head start that WWE has. But again, 5 years ago,
Google it.
That's right. I'm not here to educate you, bitches. But 5 years ago, WWE didn't have it. WWE, and again, we remember how bad it was, how we couldn't.
They were struggling with house shows.
Struggling with house shows. They were struggling to keep us.
Our barometer was actually when we were watching during when Raw was rawful. Man, like Deb was tapping out by like 8:30.
Yeah, quarter to 9. Like she wouldn't even make it the first hour. Yeah. But again,
like Deb would tap out.
Even before that, before I knew all you guys, I'd be at my friend's house, and half the time Raw and SmackDown was just kind of background noise as we were hanging out, playing beer pong, doing whatever. Or I was just sitting there scrolling through social media on my phone, not paying attention because the show wasn't interesting.
So and just I'll try to wrap up my point. 5 years ago, WWE didn't have that.
Try.
So I'm trying. So to say that AEW hasn't had an impact is really kind of asinine to say. However, what we not to beat the dead horse, but
hold on a second, John. And to say that it hasn't had an impact, you know what? It's had an impact on a hell of a lot of our friends and wrestlers and people that work in the industry.
Absolutely,
putting food on their fucking tables.
Right. That part I will never.
Hell of a time for them people.
But you can see the differences, and we point them out all the time. I mean, we have to remember, folks, Tony Khan is not a booker. He's not a wrestling guy. He's a businessman that's investing his own money and family money because he's doing the same exact thing. Any of us in the same situation. If I had Tony Khan's money, you'll all be watching John Wrestling Network 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And it would be nothing but matches I want to see. I would have all the action figures he has, and that's it. But again, so I
want to see that match where Lindsay Snow pins your ass and gives you a tramp stamp that she's finally been promising to give you.
We're not going to talk about that. Kayfabe,
just
brother.
Be a fan, assholes.
Yes,
just be a fan, assholes.
Yes,
just be a fan, assholes.
So again, it's a 5-year anniversary of AEW. And the whole thing is, and Deb can speak to this probably more so. Me and Elder, we're older. We've been in and around wrestling much longer. But there was an entire generation, almost 2 generations of people that knew nothing other than WWE. There was nothing else. Yeah, you had TNA along the way or Ring of Honor, but as far as mainstream.
But I didn't know about those back then.
Exactly. So
well, we were
conditioned.
At that time, I wasn't involved in wrestling social media like I am now.
Mhm.
And before I started listening to Busted Open, I really wasn't aware that all that other stuff was happening. I watched Raw and SmackDown. That was it. And when I started listening to Busted Open in, I want to say 2017-ish, was when I really, became aware, like, oh, there's a lot of stuff in Japan happening. Dave would always talk about, TNA and Ring of Honor. And I became more aware and became a bigger fan because of that, especially because at the time, WWE just wasn't doing it for me. So I was like, all right, I'm going to seek out other stuff that I might like better. And that was when AEW came around.
Right. But now you have this new upstart product, AEW, and immediately, oh, well, it's not Oh, they're not WWE. They're not doing this. They're not. Oh, it stinks. It's no good. But again,
so you have both sides though, John. You had the side that the people that vehemently hated WWE, hated anything they stood for. So anything AEW did was pure gold, and and then you also have the other side, the WWE sycophants that just to them it was hey, I was conditioned a long time ago in the 80s and everything. You were conditioned thinking, oh, those are that's like the little leagues. I can't wait till this guy comes up. I like it.
Sure.
We always talk about this, and it's true though, because you used to see WWF programming and they be in these arenas, and then you go, then all of a sudden you're looking at NWA or whatever, or AEWA, and they're in, in little studios in front of 10 people sometimes. It's
right.
But that was just perception. It was all perception. Now it's
I say it all the time. Like I never was an WWE hater.
No.
As people say. Like I would express, disappointment and say like, it's just not really for me right now. I would watch here and there, but a lot of the times it was like, I can see how someone who's younger, someone who's a kid would be super, super into it and absolutely love everything about it. But for me as an adult who is getting into more stuff, like there was a time when it just wasn't for me. I was never a hater. I never went on social media and shit on it. I would just say, it's just not my thing right now.
It pissed the Attitude Era people off that all of a sudden, well, hey, why are they fuzzing out Stone Cold's middle finger? And why can't he call somebody a son of a bitch anymore? And,
right.
It's like, hey, wait a second. Right. My kid wanted the friggin' middle finger, foam fingers too. My kid, my kids went around telling people to suck it too in school. So you know what? Give me a break with the cutting the holy shit chants out and all that, but that's what made me leave it. I didn't really watch there's a lot of stuff in the PG era that I don't even I
was very on and off for years. I would watch for a few months, and it just I was in my 20s at that time, so there was just a lot happening in my life that I just didn't I didn't watch every week. Sometimes I got out of it and didn't watch for months, and then sometimes I would start watching again.
I didn't watch
but anyway,
years, really.
We kind of went off on a tangent. We kind of went off on a tangent there. We have to wrap this up. It's 8:30.
Yeah, it is.
So just be a fan, assholes.
You can find me at That's So Debonair on the Twitter machine and on the Instagram. And just thanks for watching, everyone. Like and subscribe, share with all your friends, spread the word of the Nation's Corner. We want to keep seeing new names in the chat every week. It's awesome to see new names in the chat. So spread the word, share it to all your friends on your various social medias. Get the word out.
Tip a few back for everybody that gave themselves. And the reason why we're celebrating this weekend, we're celebrating the lives of people that made it possible for us to celebrate. Thank you, everybody. And to everybody else, any of the AEW haters or WWE haters,
just be a fan, assholes.
There you go.
All right. John?
I am, of course. It says it there somewhere. Here, there. at Twisted Metal Fab on the Twitter and the Instagram, and follow the exploits of the most dangerous weapon in professional wrestling. Of course, I'm talking about the AK9K, the Ass Kicker 9000. You can follow its exploits on Instagram at Ass Kicker 9K. And finally, always, me and Deb were doing it last week. That's why we weren't on the show. Hashtag Nation's Corner on location. Deb and I were over here in beautiful Woodbury, New Jersey, with Atlantic All-Star Wrestling and their summer heat show, and had a great time. Check Deb's social media and Nation Corner social media for clips. You're going to sit and mess me up, aren't you? You're going to bust me. I'm not going to do it. I'm not. I'm going to get through this. But check Nation's Corner and Deb's social medias for our clips and stuff from that. It was a very fun, entertaining show.
All right, you're cut off. You're cut off.
I got the button right here, old man. Don't make me do it. Anyway, folks, thank you all for joining us. Again, enjoy wrestling. Happy wrestling, as our friend Ian Riccaboni
We
says.
missed you, Tony, in front row.
Well, that's what they get for leaving us unsupervised. Tony's building the Garage Mahal down there in Texas. Okay, we better get out of here. We're going to go do this all night.
You're
I love you guys.
Yeah. Right. Night.
Thanks for watching, folks.
Don't ever go over my fucking head again, you mother.
Just be a fan, assholes.